guys, I'm Umair Nazim and welcome to the object-oriented series of Let's Code. Now you are watching the lecture number 3 and the part is 1. In the part 1, I will demonstrate you on the board, and in the part 2 of this video, I will show you the practical things on the compiler. So today we are going to deal with what are the constructors in Java. In the previous video, I showed you what are the classes and objects and how to create the object for the classes. But today we will take a look on the constructors. But before going to the constructors, I want to tell you a little bit about our previous video, what we did about that, and then I will go to the constructors. So if you look here, this one is our package, lesson, and this one is our package. So in the same package, I have created two classes. One is my class and one is student class. Okay, and in this my class, okay, here is the void main method. In this void main method, as you know that our execution will start always from the void main method. So without this one, I have created here this one student class. That is my separate class, and in that student class here I have these are called the member variables of the student. That is variable name is name, surname and age. There are three variables. But here, so I have created the instance here. I have created the instance of the student class here, stu, and now I am giving these values to here, this name and surname. So here I didn't initialize the value for the age. So this one is the, you can say, the main idea how to create the objects, okay, and how to pass the values to another class. Now let's come to the topic of constructor. What are the constructors? So as you know that here I have created this one, an object that is stu, and that object is referring to this student class. By using this stu, I can initialize the values to the member variables here. But actually we use the constructors here. So before going to this thing, I want to show you what is this stu. Okay. Please always remember one thing. To create a constructor, the constructor must have the same name as our class name. Okay. Here the class name is student. And here it is also a student. Here with these two parentheses, this is called as a constructor. That is the default constructor by Java. So in this student class, I haven't made any constructor yet. But whenever you will create the instance of that class, Java will create a constructor by default. Okay. So for example, I don't want to initialize the values like this. I want to create a different method. So I don't want to initialize the values like this by creating the object and I am assigning the values here. No, I will not do like this. For that reason, there is one more method you can initialize the values. That is very easy way. So that is the way by using the constructor. So constructor is used, for example, you can say to initialize the values, and also when your program will run, the first thing that will execute, that is a constructor. So if you make a constructor in your class, when you will run that class in the void main method, so the first thing it will execute is your constructor. Okay, now let me remove these things here. So I have removed this one, and now I will go to the topic of this one, constructor. Okay, so let me remove this one here and put these things here. And here you can take the same example. I am taking the same example of student. Okay. So how to create a constructor? Please make sure to create a constructor, you must have to give same name of your class. My class name is student, so I will write here student. This one, student, and here student. So here are my member variables. Now I want to assign the values to these member variables. That's why I am creating a constructor. Okay. Here I have created this student, and here I will put these two parentheses for the parameters. And within this, after that I will create here this bracket, this curly bracket. Okay. Within this curly bracket, whatever I will write, that will be executed. Okay. So let me suppose that now I don't want to initialize the values to here. I want to print a statement, just a statement. For that one, let me write here. Here I have written within this constructor, okay, within this constructor I have written a statement that is hello world, this statement, hello world. Now I want to print this statement. Now here, as you can see, here we have already created one default constructor. So when I will run this statement, when I will run the code in my compiler, so it will give me the output of this one, hello world. It will print this hello world because here look, I have already created an instance, I mean the object of the student class with stu name. Okay, now here I have already a constructor. That constructor is now here this constructor. Now here I didn't pass any parameter, I didn't pass any values. That's why I don't need to pass any values. So when I will click on the run button in my compiler, it will show me the output that is hello world. Now there is one more thing. Now let me remove this one here, and now I will talk about how to initialize. Now within this constructor, now I want to initialize the values to name, surname and age, okay, and let me remove this one also. Okay, now here write the student with the constructor. Okay, now here within these parentheses, okay, now within these parentheses, let's suppose that I will pass some parameters. Now the name is string. So first I will write the data type, that is string, and I can create here nm, for example. This one is referring to name. Okay. Second one, this one is surname. I will again create. No, let's don't take the surname. I will take the value of age. So let's suppose that here is integer age. Now for the age, I can write here age. Okay. And here I will write the name of these values. Okay. If you want to take the surname, you can also add comma here and also write the string. For the surname, create any variable. That is up to you. But now I am just taking the two variables. Now here I will write that name, okay, name, and now I will assign this variable nm. Now whenever I will pass the values here in this constructor, this one will come here, the value, and that value will be assigned to this name here. Okay. Now here we have age. Now I will pass the value age here. Age will be this one, age. Okay. So it is same like you can say the functions. Take it like a function. Okay. Now I must have to initialize the values. So for that one, let me remove this one. So I will write here again student, the constructor name. Okay. Now here for the name, I have to pass a name here that is string. Let's suppose that I can pass a name here, Umair. Okay. And for the integer, I have to pass a integer value. For example, let's suppose that age is, for example, 35. Okay. Now I have passed the value that is name and age. Now this Umair, this name will come to here, and the age will come to here, and that age is here and the name is here, and then I am passing that one to name and age, and that name is already here and that age is already here. Now with this method you can say that I have initialized the value. Okay. Now, here within this system.out.println statement, I want to print the name. I will write here stu.name. Okay. When I will write this one stu.name, it will print this name, and that name is containing the value that is Umair. Now, if I want to again write for the age, again I will write here system.out.println stu.name, and it will print my age. Okay, so that is the concept of a constructor. So for example, with this constructor, so you have passed the values, you are initializing that values to here. So that is an easy way of the constructor. So that's it for today, guys. In the next video, I will demonstrate you these things on the compiler, and I will go in a little bit more detail. So with this, take care of yourself. See you in the next lecture.